Joining us now is Dave Herndon. He's with New Mexico Magazine. Dave, thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Pleasure to be here.
I just have to tell you, I came to New Mexico back in 2008 from New York, and I had never been to New Mexico. My wife had been to New Mexico when she was like 7. So I flew out here to see if I could deal with New Mexico before accepting the job. And I came to Santa Fe and I said, well, this is a pretty cool place to live. So I picked up a copy of the magazine and brought it home. And before my wife and I made the decision to finally move out here, we went through every page in New Mexico Magazine, and that really sealed the deal for us. So it's a fantastic publication.
That's great to hear.
And it's a wonderful billboard, so to speak, for all the things that New Mexico has to offer. Now, right now, you guys are offering a free digital version of the January issue, correct?
Right. The January issue is a special issue that highlights a lot of stories along the lines of the ones you just described. Everybody has a story about how they wound up in New Mexico or decided to stay here if they're from here already, which usually involves some sort of digging into their roots and taking off from there. So this issue is about to go off the stands, but we are offering it free online as a download, as a digital issue through nmmagazine.com, so that this issue will have an afterlife, and it's free, and it's a great advertisement for the magazine. It's a great advertisement for the state, because it's really talking about these aha moments that people have when they realize this is the place for them. It's a great fit.
So this issue is going to be on newsstands for another couple of days, and then the February issue lands on newsstands.
Right.
And will arrive in subscribers' mailboxes. Tell us what's in the February issue.
In February, just by happy coincidence, given the ruling on same-sex marriage, which is bringing more attention to the marriage industry in town, we have a feature on getting married in New Mexico, and we spotlight a handful of different weddings around the state, each of which has only in New Mexico distinctive flavor and locale, and it's a sector that I think has a lot of potential for development here, and we're helping to get the word out about that.
Well, I know that New Mexico Magazine has been endorsed by the State Tourism Secretary as New Mexico True, so that's certainly a feather in the cap of New Mexico Magazine, and that's the big marketing campaign that the state's pushing out now, New Mexico True.
Right.
And this is certainly epitomizes what New Mexico is.
We're part of the tourism department, so we're very aligned with that campaign and the department's mission, and they do the marketing and the branding to create awareness, on a very sort of, I don't want to say superficial level, but it's an advertisement, and this New Mexico Magazine is a resource then to go to for a deeper dive.
Sure.
In the same way that you did when you were thinking about moving here, and I think that the magazine, is a great economic development tool and could be utilized more so in those regards by economic development or, other entities and stakeholders around the state. I mean, you just had the Chris Goblet from the Brewers Association here. We're doing a big feature on the craft beer industry in the state. We're laying claim to the title of craft beer capital of the Southwest. That's a great asset.
Sure.
There's going to be a craft beer and bicycle festival this spring that Chris is also involved with, and we're co-sponsoring too, and so that's another asset that sort of ties in with that outside lifestyle piece. So it kind of all comes together in the pages of New Mexico Magazine, and we can do a sort of a very deep representation of those assets in a ways that just typical advertising can't.
It's so much more than chilies and cowboy hats.
Right, but we do those too.
We do those too. Well, it's a fantastic resource, not just for folks that are maybe visiting from out of town, but if you're a local New Mexican or living here in Santa Fe, you're going to find some surprises by flipping through the pages of New Mexico Magazine, I guarantee it. So I encourage folks to pick it up off the newsstands. Certainly check out that free downloadable issue, and it's available on tablets as well.
It is, absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, Dave from New Mexico Magazine, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll have you back soon.
Great.
Thanks, Dave.